Those words you're saying to yourself are killing you. What are the words you keep saying to yourself that make you choose to hurt yourself in this way? Not out loud, not where anyone can hear, not even where you can hear them anymore, but quietly, relentlessly, ruthlessly, in your head, because that's where this really lives. It doesn't start with the drink. It doesn't start with the drug. It doesn't start with the behavior. It starts with a whispered word. That becomes a whispered sentence. That becomes a whispered belief. Something you've repeated so many times, you no longer question it. Maybe it sounds like this: I'm not enough. I've already messed everything up. What's the point? I'm a mistake. I can handle it this time. I deserve this. Just one more. I'll quit tomorrow. No one really cares anyway. I can't do this anymore. These aren't just thought. They're permissions. They're justifications. They're emotional anesthesia. And over time, they're taken for granted. Because here's the truth most people don't want to face. You don't just fall into addiction. You're talked into it by your own voice. That voice knows exactly where you're vulnerable. It knows your pain. It knows your loneliness. It knows your guilt, your shame, your regret, and it uses all of it against you. It says, "You've already blown it today, so why stop now? You're too far gone. You're not like other people. You need this to get through." And the scariest part, it doesn't feel like a lie. It feels like truth. Because maybe those words were planted a long time ago by trauma, by rejection, by failure, by people who didn't see you or didn't stay. And somewhere along the way, you started repeating those words as if they were your own. So now when the moment comes when you're standing at the edge of a choice, it's not really a choice at all. It's a script, already written, already rehearsed, already believed. You don't say, "I'm going to hurt myself." You say, "This will help. This will calm me down. I just need relief." But underneath that is something deeper, something more honest, something harder to admit. And it's, I don't know how to sit with myself. I don't know how to escape this feeling. I don't believe I'm worth saving. And that's the real addiction, not the substance, not the behavior, but the belief. Because if you truly believed, I'm worth it because I'm here, I can get through this. This feeling will pass like a cloud in the sky. I don't need to destroy myself to survive this moment. Then everything would change. But right now, those aren't the words you're using. Instead, you're stuck in a loop, a quiet, invisible loop, where pain creates a thought, and that thought creates a choice. And that choice creates more pain, which reinforces the original thought over and over, again and again, until it feels like this is who you are. But listen carefully. Those words are not you. They are something you heard, something you practiced, something you learned, and something you can unlearn. Recovery doesn't start with stopping the behavior. It starts with hearing the words again, hearing the sentences and interrupting them, catching them right in the moment they appear. When your mind says, "What's the point?" you pause and ask, "Is that true?" When it says, "I need this," you answer, "No, I want relief, but this isn't the way." When it says, "I've already failed," you respond, "I'm still here," because this is where your power is. Not in perfection, not in willpower alone, but in awareness, because the moment you hear the voice and recognize it, you create space. And in that space, you have a choice, a real one, not the old script, not the automatic response, but something new, something different, something that might feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, but is actually the beginning of freedom. And let's be honest, this isn't easy. It takes work. Those old words, they've been with you for years, maybe decades. They've been your coping mechanism, your shield, your escape. Letting them go can feel like losing part of yourself. But what you're really losing is the part of yourself that's been hurting you. So I'll ask you again, what are the words you keep saying to yourself that make you choose to hurt yourself in this way? And more importantly, are you willing to question them? Because the life you want, the peace you're searching for, the version of yourself that still exists, it's not waiting for you somewhere out there. It's waiting on the other side of a different sentence, different words, one new thought, one interrupted pattern, one moment of honesty. That's where this begins. Not tomorrow, not when everything is fixed, but right here, right now. With the words you choose next,